Okay, here we are again back at the studio. We're going to work on a pastel today, that pastel painting. We already started and put washes in with acrylics. And my name is Dick Inslee. I'm a Tennessee artist. We're at Art of the Carolinas. Today we're going to use basically a soft pastel. This is on a one of the new art boards by Canson. It's a beautiful board to work with. You can put watercolors on it. You can put acrylics on it. And have a lot of fun with it. Today we're going to build it up with pastels. What I'm using here is a very soft pastels by Mungo. It's a gallery. It's called a gallery series. It's a soft made. This is a made pastel. It's a beautiful pastel. It's soft enough where it's going to kiss the tooth of the board. Let's start with the darks first. Start with your dark blues. The dark blues in here, okay? And just like your paint, you're putting color in, one color at a time. And try not to blend too much. This kind of stuff here, what you end up with is with a lot of grays if you get too much color on there. Start with all your darks here. Put your darks in, put your darks in, put your darks in, put your darks. You can see how that pastel goes in here. And I'm going to show you a little trick at the end that you can use. Sometimes we have to use all the tricks we can. But put your color aside. Don't put it back in your box. Your palette's going to be right here. That's your palette you're working from. Let's go into some of the little bit middle, maybe the lighter colors right in here. Look at this beautiful blue. Taking the side of the pastels and just kind of putting the color in. See it? It's beautiful blue in here. Okay. Now let's go into the apple, the red part, the dark red, right down in here. Yeah, it's a little bit light. Let's go a little bit darker red. Let's see if we find a dark red. Here's one right here, right about here. This is a little harder pastel, but there's enough tooth here to catch it. Yes. Yeah. Now look, as you get into the middle values, it turns a little bit more orange. Put your color right here. Go into the orange color. Nice thing about pastels, you don't have to worry about mixing so much. Sometimes you'll cross-hatch to mix the color, but basically you're picking out the color that you see. These colors will start mixing within themselves. You got a beautiful orange that you see right there. And there's a little bit of that nice color right in here. But as it gets closer to the light, it turns a little bit yellow. See the beautiful yellowish green? Let's take this yellow right here. This is called just cross hatching. I'm going a little bit across that and see how I'm putting that color in there. Right down here is very little, kind of a pinkish cast. Here's this kind of a light. Here's a light pink right here. Very soft pastel. Put the color in. Okay. Now you got this beautiful green here. Now put your colors right here. This is a palette that we're working from right here. These are the colors. You may end up with maybe 20 colors with the whole thing. Put kind of a lime green is right in here. You see it? See if that's soft enough to get it. Let's get something a little bit softer. Here's one that's a little softer than that. There it is. Goes right in there. Okay. With a very dark color, then you can take a harder pastel. Look at the little stem right here. You can draw it right in. Okay. Stem. Now watch your reflections. Right. Watch the shadows of this cast. This has got a beautiful cast shadow. It's almost a greenish cast from the, yeah. Right in there. Remember I told you that blue will cast an orange shadow, red will cast a green. It always casts its complement, but it mixes in with what's there. It'll turn basically a gray, what we call the pearly grays. Right down here, some beautiful oranges. Kind of a bright orange. Let's see, it's right here. Right down in here, if you can see that. I see, everybody sees a different color. You all may not see the orange. You may see it as more of a red. You may see it, who knows what color. But everybody sees a different color spectrum. Right in here, there's some beautiful blues. Maybe some light blues. Right in here, and some greens. It's casting a green shadow, bluish green shadow. Okay. Right here, it's got a little bit of green cast right here. Okay, see how quickly you can start building it up. Now this cloth is basically a white. It's got a little bit of yellowish cast to it. Let's just kind of Take the side of a warm pastel, kind of a warm color. Just build it up a little bit, okay? Now, right in the back of this, put your colors there. Right in the back of this apple is more of a greenish cast. Right back here. It gets a little bit more. I missed a little bit of that red in there. We'll put that in right about now. A little darker red. Nice red, nice red. Maybe a little bit more brighter orange. Remember, I'm pulling my colors from here, so here's that beautiful orange color. See it right in there? Now, let's take a little bit of white. Let's take a nice kind of a side of the chalk right in here. It's not quite soft enough, but I think there we go. You can get it to stick. This has enough tooth. Now, when you run out of tooth, what you have to do is spray this with a fine art spray. And that'll let you go and go a little bit further in your pastel. See if we got, this is a soft one. I think we get that color right in. There you go. Beautiful color in there. I'm going to cross hatch it just a little bit in here to break that up. Now, when it comes to reflections, here again, don't put a reflection on every grape. Basically, the reflection here on these grapes is not quite a white. This is kind of a grayish cast to it. Okay. Now you have this little stem here. You can do that in one stroke. Here, I picked up a color right off my palette here. Okay, put it in with one stroke. Some things are done by basically drawing them in. Other things are done by painting them in. I said I was going to show you something real quick. We're going to take a wet brush, and we're going to take and dip it in water, and we're going to just kind of show you that you can actually mix these pastels with water. Okay, remember I told you I was going to show you a little trick, and we're going to use a little water. These pastels, these soft pastels, you can mix with water a little bit, almost like a watercolor. So let's take a little water and let's watch what happens when we just add a little bit of, look at how it just, don't play with it so much you're gonna get the color out too far. See how then, now watch that color that I see? There it is, right there. Okay, let's take a little bit in the blue. Now you don't want to blend this whole thing till it's all blended, but I'm just taking a few, feathering some of the color a little bit. I'm gonna bring some of that cerulean right out there. Bring it down here a little bit. A little more water. Okay. Let's take a little bit, just a little bit of the red. Now you don't have to do this on every pastel. I'm just trying to show you a technique you can use. See? Now, let that dry a little bit. Put the brush down. Let's go back and just real quickly and reconstruct just a couple of the grapes to show you what will happen. And go right back with the pastel. I'm going to reconstruct. This is called reconstructing. You have to do this sometimes a lot in your, even in a painting or a pastel painting, because you're going to lose the detail of your grapes. Okay, a little bit of dark right under here into the apple. Okay. I lost some of the brilliance right in here. Let's put a reflection right here. What do you see right here? It's kind of a greenish reflection. Let's do it with one stroke. Okay, that's the reflection that you see right here, kind of greenish. We already had the reflections on the grapes. Let's add just a little bit of some beautiful pink color. I think it's refracted light coming from the apple. Take right in through here some beautiful pinks. Very nice. Okay. Now every time you do something, something else is going to happen. So what's happened here when I added that, I should go a little bit darker in the color down in the bottom here. And pick up a very dark, deep blue. Go right down in here, just a little bit. Little grapes kind of hanging out over the edge here. Okay. Okay, let's just leave this in this. It shows you how quickly you can build up one of your paintings with pastels. There's a lot of different techniques you can use, but just have fun with it. Again, my name is Dick Ensing. You look me up on my website, dickensинgartist.com, or write me at dickensing@bellsouth.net. Thanks again for dropping in.